War. War. War! I, like any other sane individual, love waging war. Wars against people, concepts, and the TV licensing agency stuff. Now, you might be thinking they should come under the category of people, but they don't actually, because they're pricks. And there exists no wars worth their weight in shot down F-16s that don't have propaganda. Wonderful pieces of art that make you know beyond any shadow of a doubt that those other guys with smoking really are shitheads. On the internet, of course, we are waging wars all the time over stupid
Why are oranges called oranges, but an apple is not called a red?
I swear to God, the Balkans are a more peaceful region than Twitter in modern day. I love Bosnia, by the way. That last meme was a joke. So today, Glorp and I, hello, will be covering the power of propaganda, the deadliest strain of meme in the meme pool. Right, enough preamble. I'm Lil Crispy.
I am Glorp.
And welcome to Memology in Depth. This is Donald Duck. And this is Donald Duck preparing to go to the next Kanye concert. Believe it or not, and you should believe it because it's true, this was an official Disney production made during World War II to spread anti-German propaganda. Mainly targeted at kids, the idea was to instill in people a deep disdain for the German regime. We can see here they utilized the common anti-German memes of the time, for example, a cult-like devotion to their leader, a complete lack of sense and self-awareness, and a desire to go to war for trivial reasons. These are Japanese people. And these are Japanese people according to World War II propaganda. As we can see here, we, the viewer, are supposed to be repulsed by their physical features, dehumanizing them and removing our empathy. An important part of war is the fact that, in most cases I've found, people generally have to shoot each other with guns, which most people don't really enjoy. So a problem is posed to the people enlisting new soldiers. How do we get people to not care so much about the concept of
You're not allowed to say the K-word, man.
What?
New YouTube rules, you had to say something else like, unalive.
Okay, well, these people enlisting soldiers had to think of a way to get these fellas to not feel so bad about brutally, inhumanely, and very disturbingly unaliving someone, disconnecting themselves fully from empathy and understanding, divorcing their souls from the very meaning of humanity. That good?
That'll do.
Great! Anyway, if we think of our enemies as being less than human, evil, or barbaric, even if they are themselves guilty of some of the most horrible, disgusting war crimes, we don't think of them as being so much as humans. It artificially turns off that part of the brain that inspires empathy and mercy, making the act of unaliving them much more bearable. I promise this all relates to JD Vance dressed like that kid from Shrek of a Lollipop, trust me. For those of you who don't know, a meme, scientifically speaking, is an idea that infects the minds of a host and spreads like a virus. Songs, lines from TV shows, marketing slogans, quotes from movies, they're all memes. And like many viruses, memes have the potential to be very harmful to the infected host. But instead of existing physically in one organism, it exists hypothetically within society. If there exists a meme that riles up society against a group or an individual, then now exists the possibility of society committing an act against that thing which the memes brought scrutiny upon. For example, back in 2020, there was a popular meme going around that the newly installed 5G towers were causing all sorts of negative side effects, chief among them being a certain virus that I'm not allowed to say out loud on YouTube, I think.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
For whatever reason, this anti-5G movement meme was so impactful to people across the world that people took it upon themselves to dismantle them themselves, prevent people from installing them, and in one frightening instance, an American woman fired at some poor guy whilst he was trying to repair one. Luckily, she wasn't a good shot, but still. Bit rude, innit? Or how about one classic Facebook mum meme that's still kicking for whatever reason? Vaccines cause autism. The whole debacle was sprung on by a rather inaccurate paper written by, at the time, Dr. Andrew Wakefield, whose medical license was revoked for just a bunch of bullshit, really.
When the patient woke up, his skeleton was missing, and the doctor was never heard from again! That's how I lost my medical license.
The paper made the rounds in circles and became a very large, surprisingly contagious and horribly dangerous meme. This meme got so big, some parents genuinely decided to prevent their children receiving the measles, mumps and rubella vaccine, or MMR. You know, I don't usually like to drop the persona, but in all seriousness, as of writing this, there have been about 607 confirmed cases of measles in the US in April 2025. Possibly more, and let me tell you, having measles really is a load of shit, to be honest. Horrible rash, fever, and it can very likely cause death in children. Awful. Anyway, when I say that memes of attack are deadly, I wasn't lying for dramatic effect. These memes can and will kill. So now you know why these things can be such a problem, let's have a look at some weaponized memes that have been in the meme pool recently. Number 1. Consoomers. You've probably come across one of these handsome fellas recently. This guy is known colloquially as the Consumer Jack, a warjack based off of the modern day man and his obsession with consuming products. And that's any product, mind. Junk food,
the Saturn burger,
toys, video games,
My life is like a video game!
Marvel movies, whatever. The purpose of Consume Jack is to satirize the gross and perverse nature of our society and its relationship with media consumption. Quite sad, but a very necessary meme, I believe. Number 2. Countries. Specifically, Europe. Specifically, the Balkans. And this area here, which I like to call the West Peninsula of the Balkan subcontinent. Europe is old. Every 100 years, the map looks completely different, languages sound completely different, people look completely different, and a fresh new wave of ridiculous wars comes and goes. The cycle of Europe is massive fuck-off war, massive fuck-off plague, new inbred dynasty springs up out of nowhere and starts another massive fuck-off war. Rinse and repeat until World War II, and now we have the EU. But we haven't forgotten. Bimbisberry II of Shopping-Toppingshire, who raised taxes on all imported fish from the micronation of Scooby-Dooby Papulia. The reason why every European country hates each other is very complicated, and I'm not qualified to explain why. They just do, okay? Bosnians hate Serbs, the Irish hate the British hate the French hate the Belgians hate the Belgians, and so on. Now, it's not completely universal. As a British person myself, I quite like a few French people, actually. Just a few, don't get it twisted. But naturally, because we're all neighbours, we've all got some reason to hate each other. Anyway, here's some European memes.
Europe has 3 sides.
Things you might not know about Europe. Europe is the most peaceful continent.
Number 3. The Minecraft movie. In some instances, the attack meme can backfire. The trouble with these is that people oftentimes don't have a unanimous understanding of the meme and its intent. Take the Minecraft movie. The original memes were aimed at mocking the film due to it looking kinda ass, not gonna lie. But this ended up going backwards, building hype, and then in cinemas, people went nuts. This had screenings going more insane than billion-dollar Marvel films or Scottish people when Maggie finally croaked.
Goldthorpe has never forgotten, never forgiven.
Number 4. JD Vance. Now, I've already done a very factual and in-depth look into Mr. Vance here, and I'm planning on doing a separate video on politics and memes. And the comment section on that video is going to be very fun, I imagine, so I'll keep this segment brief. A lot of people wanted to make fun of the vice president for several things. His skyliner, his beard, the whole please and thank you Mr. Zelensky baloney, and maybe something regarding his actual political statements, but he's the vice president, no one gives a shit. My copy of LEGO Lord of the Rings on the Xbox 360 is more important than this guy. Anyway, a most curious phenomenon happened soon after he was sworn into office. People online started photoshopping him into the most bizarre of images. So far removed from the original image, it was hard to tell what it was even meant to communicate. All it had was a very poignant and universal feeling implanted in the viewer. JD Vance looks weird, which is a perfectly reasonable statement. Number 5. Bro. Our homies, our closest friends, our compadres, our biggest ops. There seems to be few people we hate more than our close friends. I chalk that up to how much time we probably spend with them. For that reason, we've received a wealth of memes deriding our homeboys. Here are some of my favorites. Number 6. Ourselves. Who was our greatest enemy if not ourselves? Now my greatest enemy was actually Pope Urban II, but he died at least 12 years ago now, so I, like many other people, am now my own greatest enemy. And I've been plotting on my downfall ever since. Poor bastard has no idea what's coming. For whatever reason, the modern rise in the idea of individualism has made individuals feel more, well, individual, and like a separate entity from society as a whole, at least in most Western countries. It might sound weird in today's context, but a century or two ago, most people didn't really think inwards all too much. Life was simply work for the master, the boss, the family, the wife, the kids, make more kids, and die. Not much room for dwelling on that random awkward encounter you had on the penny ferry into work this morning, where you accidentally brushed the tips of your fingers past the ferryman's buttocks. When, by the time you turn 22, every other day you'll flip a coin that decides whether you die that day to some horrible plague that inverts your lungs like some perverse balloon animal, or you get mauled by a breed of boy not yet known to science, or turned into a pancake by some builder 12 beers down at 8 AM on the worksite on your way to work. No, sorry, I'm lying for comedic effect. You're not making it to 22. But now with modern medicine, more than 10% of the population can live to ages in the double digits, and employment demands slightly less than 25 hours of daily labour. Slightly less. So with all these extra years to look back on and forward to throughout our lives, we really stop and think, man, I f***ing suck! Here and there. So one of the biggest strains of attack memes in recent times has been directed inwards, and it's kinda sad all things considered. Even if these are, for the most part, goofy observations making light of small trivialities, but they compound over time. Now, I should admit I'm being a wee bit of a hypocrite here because I be laughing at these views all the time, but whoever needs to hear this, don't let these sentiments become a part of who you are. It's alright to make fun of yourself from time to time, but don't internalize that self-loathing. Got it? Good. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards. So of all the harm these memes can cause, can we fight them? No. Bit of a downer, I know, but for as long as we've been drawing images and saying words, we've been spreading nasty rumours about each other. When we're kids, we sing so-and-so and whoever sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G or whatever.
You leave so-and-so out of this.
Sorry. Anyway, creating memes of attack is one of the cornerstones of society. Trying to stop it is like trying to stop a grizzly bear mauling you by scratching its belly and feeding it a bag of salt and vinegar crisps. But that's not to say we can't do anything. The best thing we can do is laugh at the harmless ones, not feed the cruel ones aimed at destroying people, and stay skeptical of the ones that may or may not be trying to sell us something. Memes are baked into our society, so there's no reason weaponized memes could be removed and rebelled against. But that's not an excuse not to try. We all have a responsibility to make the meme pool as good as it can be. We all have the power to spread the best ones and bury the trash ones. The same goes for weaponized memes. But, there's one more thing I think I should touch on. Something a wee bit more tinfoil hat-esque. Most memes spawn naturally out of society's interest in a thing, but sometimes a meme can come around and it feels a little off. sounds a little too ridiculous, a bit too crazy, even for Facebook mums and Twitter uncles. Well, what you may be experiencing is propaganda from the Kremlin.
What the
Okay, this one I don't have much proof on, so take it all with a hefty spoonful of salt, but in recent years, there have been campaigns uncovered of Russian involvement in Western meme spreading, interfering with big elections like the US presidential elections, the Brexit referendum, Germany's upcoming elections, and many more. Initial reports found that they were of partisan bias, but actually, their main goal is not to push for left or right-wing politics, but create artificial points of contention between groups of people in Western countries, dividing them further and pushing them into a total collapse from within, allowing Russia to take over the world! But that's just a theory. A conspiracy theory! Now I need to install a VPN. Anyway, like I said, I don't have concrete proof of any of this, and I'm not the guy to find out. I'm literally just a dude in my bedroom. Let MI5 or something figure it out.
MI5 is internal matters. MI6 is international affairs.
My mistake. But the point still stands. There exist so many memes in the meme pool aimed at getting us to fight ourselves. Think about the increase in severity of riots and protests across the world, regardless of party affiliation. People are mad all the time, everywhere, but if you ask 2,000 people why, they could all give you wildly different answers. But I can give you a pretty solid answer. Memes. Angry memes. Memes that make you want to egg your neighbors or steal from small tech startups. Memes aimed at tearing apart our countries from the inside. Or not, I could just be overreacting a bit. I do get most of my news from my Instagram feed. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, that's just about it, really. Stay alert. Think of your memes like you would your food. You wouldn't eat it if it came from some mystery meat. Same goes for memes. Keep a healthy meme diet and try not to unalive people.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But could you sing it better?
You already know, baby.
I've seen you around for a long, long time. I remembered you when you drank my wine. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't memes be friends? Why can't memes be friends?
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I didn't lose you during the ramble about Russia at the end there. Also, I hope you liked the April Fool's video because I really enjoyed making it, and I was thinking of making more like that. Maybe, you know, I was thinking maybe I could do like a second series parallel to this one. You know, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Good thing about those things is that I can actually make them quite quickly, and I mean in like 2 or 3 days. So like from scripting to editing to publishing, it could be like 2 days, which is good. And I could sneak them in there between uploads of MID. Anyway, thanks again, stay safe on the internet, and say no to fentanyl.